Hey friends, Pastor Bill Walden here with Build Up the Church. Hope you're doing really well. This is a devotional word for March the 28th, 2024. This is out of the Gospel of Luke, chapter 7. After Jesus preached the Sermon on the Plain, which is different than the Sermon on the Mount, we read this in Luke chapter 7. When he had concluded all his sayings in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum. And a certain centurion's servant, who was dear to him, was sick and ready to die. Centurion was kind of the backbone of the Roman army. They were like maybe what you'd call a sergeant. They would have 100 men under them. We need to remember that in this day, Rome was an occupying force in Israel, dominating the Jewish people, dominating their culture, putting restrictions on them, taxing them, etc. And so, for the most part, they were hated by the Jews, but this man was an exception. Luke tells us why. So when he heard about Jesus, he sent elders to the Jews to him, pleading with him to come and heal his servant. Now the centurion doesn't go to Jesus directly. He sends his Jewish friends. Now, that would be an anomaly. That wouldn't be the normal thing, because the Jews had a generally bad hatred against the Romans because they were an occupying force. But this man was an exceptional man, fully Roman, fully serving the kingdom of Rome, and yet kind to the people around him. When they came to Jesus, these Jews, they begged him earnestly, saying that the one for whom he should do this was deserving, for he loves our nation and has built us a synagogue. Now this was very unusual. Most Romans probably could care less about the Jewish people or their religion, but this man was a kind, generous man, and whatever he had heard about Jesus, it stirred up faith within him that Jesus could heal this dear servant of his. But we're going to see that he didn't even feel like he was worthy to come to Jesus, perhaps as a Roman, perhaps as a Gentile. And so he sends his Jewish friends, which was a rare thing because, as I've said, there was a natural enmity between the Jews and the Romans because of Rome's occupation. So these guys come to Jesus. They invite him to go to the centurion's home to heal the servant of the centurion. Then Jesus went with them. Notice how ready Jesus is to serve. And when he was already not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying, "Lord, do not trouble yourself. I'm not worthy that you should enter my roof." There's a great deal of humility. You don't even need to come to my house. Now, I'm not worthy for you to come to my house, but we're going to see built into the statement is also the idea that you actually don't have to be here in order to work a healing in the life of my dear servant. Therefore I did not think myself worthy to come to you, but say the word, and my servant shall be healed. This centurion had amazing faith coupled with humility. That's probably the big two takeaways, faith and humility, that were in this man. He's going to let Jesus be Jesus. He's not going to dictate the terms or the manner or the style or the words or anything of the healing that he is seeking Jesus for on behalf of his servant. He's going to let Jesus be Jesus. And then he explained the origin of his faith. For I also am a man placed under authority. So he uses the word also, so he recognizes that Jesus is under the authority of someone higher, as is he. And he said, I have soldiers under me. I say to one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes, and to my servants, do this, and he does it. So the centurion is saying, I have authority. I tell people to do things, and it happens. You have authority. You say for things to happen, and they happen. I'm not worthy for you to come to my house. It's almost like he's saying, I hate to bother you, but I am going to bother you. I'm going to make this request. I love this dear servant of mine, but I'm going to let you do it however you want to do it. He's letting Jesus be Jesus. And when Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him, turned around and said to the crowd that followed him, I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel. Jesus was blown away. He had never seen that kind of faith, even among the Jewish people who were God's chosen people. And those who were sent, returning to the house, found the servant well who had been sick. What are the takeaways here? This man, this Roman centurion, He was a man under authority, but he recognized it wasn't his authority. He didn't let it go to his head. He was a good man as far as morals go. He was a kind man. He built a synagogue for the Jews around him. But there was humility and faith mixed together. Faith that would believe that Jesus could come and heal the servant up close or from a distance. And humility, I don't even deserve for you to step into my house. And Jesus was amazed at this man. Jesus was also amazed at this man because he understood the chain of command. As Rome empowered this man understood that heaven, God, had empowered Jesus Christ to do these miraculous works. What's the big takeaway here? This man is going to let Jesus be Jesus. I trust you. I'm asking you to do something, but I know that you can do it any way that you want. That's a good lesson for us to learn. Thanks for watching.